Hey everyone, welcome back to Dev Parkour, and welcome to yet another different camera angle. I'm still in the process of setting up my office in the new house, which kind of leads to the topic of today's video, and that is why even bother moving? So obviously, for those of you who don't know me or haven't been following the channel, over the last several months I moved from Colorado to Washington State for a variety of different reasons. And that's kind of the important part in my mind is my reasons for moving are going to be different from your reasons for moving if you choose to move. But the reason for the reasons, the kind of the meta reasons, are, in my opinion, still the same. So why would you even consider moving? Moving is a hassle. Moving is tiring, exhausting, expensive. Even if you do it yourself, it's still expensive. Um, it's quite a lot. So why would you even consider moving? I believe that we should all be living in an area that we want to be living in. And ultimately, for us, it meant that Colorado just didn't do it for us anymore. Colorado wasn't that interesting for what we wanted to do. Now, that's not to knock on Colorado. You know, there are plenty of people who live in Colorado, love Colorado. There are plenty of great reasons to live in Colorado. But for us, our lifestyle, the things we like to do, especially the things we like to do when we're not working, we really wanted Washington for that. Washington gave us a lot more for that than Colorado did. And since we can work from anywhere, and that's kind of the other component of it. Sure, some jobs you have to physically live in the town or city where you're doing the work. But software engineering, I maintain that any software engineer should be able to work anywhere in the world. Yes, some companies like having people co-located, but realistically, software engineering is a job that you should be able to do anywhere in the world. Given that we are software engineers, my wife and I are both software engineers, we could work for companies anywhere. I happen to work for a company that is headquartered in the city we used to live in Colorado. That's just kind of coincidence. I mean, yes, I sought it out because they were headquartered there, but not because I intended to go to the office. I always intended to work remotely for that company, and they were on board with that. My wife works for a company that is headquartered in a small town. It's not even, certainly not a town we've ever lived, not a city we've ever lived in, not a state we've ever lived in. So she's been remote from day one. Since we're both working remotely, that frees us up to pick where we want to live based on all the factors, what we want to be close to, what we need to be physically close to enjoy. So in our case, that was things like the water, right? We're close to the coast in Washington. That's not something that you have in Colorado, and Colorado isn't going to have that anytime soon. So that was, something that we needed to move for. And that's just one of the reasons. I'm not going to go into all of them, just because some of them are not things I want to share with the world. But yeah, we have our reasons for moving here, and it's really based on our lifestyle and choosing where we get to live, where we want to live. Both of us kind of felt like we just kind of ended up in Colorado, and moving to Washington State was a choice. We decided that this is where we wanted to live, this is where we wanted to go, and I highly encourage anyone who is stuck, feels like they're in a rut, to think about, what do you enjoy doing? When you start thinking about, I want to take a vacation to do X, where does that take you? Is that someplace that you could legitimately afford to live and be you still be able to work in your field. And at the same time, you know, is it someplace you could live, but it wouldn't suddenly become boring, right? Because, for instance, I grew up less than a mile from the beach on the East Coast. I went to the beach maybe once every other year. You know, it always felt like, you know, I could always go to the beach whenever I wanted, but I never really wanted to. So that's, you know, you don't want to live in your ideal vacation destination and then have the novelty wear off of, you know, it's exciting because you can only go there, you know, once every year, once every other year, something like that. But if you always have access to it, it's like, it's not that special anymore. You know, so finding that right balance between living near the things you like to do, but also not living so close to them that either it's too expensive and you can't afford it, or that it becomes boring and you need to move somewhere else. So I feel like we really found the right balance of that where we are, our specific location in Washington. I'm excited. You know, we found a great house in this area, and we're excited to. Well, I'm excited to share more with you on the channel, and we're certainly excited to take advantage of everything that we have going on here. So, hopefully you got something out of this video. If you're considering a move, I highly encourage you to seriously consider that, and you know, be excited about it. As stressful as it might be, you know, be excited about taking charge of your life and your living situation, and making a conscious choice, a very intentional choice to live where you want to live. It's absolutely worth it, and you will thank yourself for it later. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post videos. If you have other thoughts, if you've done the same thing that I have, if you've done that during the pandemic even, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your experiences with it. And if you're considering moving, ask a question. I love engaging with all of you in the comments. It's always cool to see you know, all the great feedback that I get. So with that, thanks for watching, and I will see you. This week's kind of weird. I think there's going to be a video tomorrow, but not on Friday. So I'll see you tomorrow.